I'm Josh King, Head of Communications for First Data Corporation, and we're on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, 74th Street and Lexington Avenue at Restaurant Vivolo. Been in business for 38 years on this very spot, owned by a good friend of First Data and a good friend of mine, Angelo Vivolo. We're going to walk inside, sit down with Angelo for a few minutes, and we're going to talk to him about using Clover Mini, the newest product from First Data Corporation that is literally transforming the way small businesses run and grow. We're going to talk to Angelo about how in just a few weeks it's been a literal transformation of this restaurant from that's always been here for 38 years, but is now running its business in a whole new way. Let's go inside. So we're here on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, Angelo, Restaurant Vivolo, 74th Street in Lexington. How did it all begin for you?
I've been in business for 38 years in this location. This is completing my 38th year this summer. And it's been a long, good run, thank God. I'm very fortunate. Upper East Side's been very good to me.
Going back 38 years, Angelo, how did it work as a restaurant owner, the combination of taking cash versus taking credit cards?
I learned very quickly that there was no cash drawer, that most patrons wanted to pay by credit card. So within a couple of weeks of being in business, I signed up with American Express at the time, and then eventually with the other cards. And in those days, you know, you'd laugh today to know how it was done. In those days, you had a manual piece of machinery that you would use to swipe the card.
Knuckle
exactly. And then once you swiped it, and after a couple of days, you accumulated these hard copies of the credit card slips, and you would mail them in, and that's how you would get paid. Then they came up with the transaction at the end of the night. You did a closeout, and the money was transferred eventually into your bank account. But it's really not very informative in the sense of telling you much about your business, except for your grand total when you did your batch out at the end of the night. You knew how much money came in and what the tips were or gratuities were, but beyond that, there was really no information.
So, after all this history and the machines that you've used before, how did you finally hear about Clover?
I heard about Clover from a good friend, Frank Bizignano, and I'm embarrassed to say that I heard about Clover a while ago and didn't make that transition. And then finally, I met with some people from First Data. They brought all of the various components. We discussed it. I was sold immediately because of the features that I felt like I went from the dark ages into the modern world. It is so unique and special in terms of what it does from what I did. I'm able to do so many more things. I am very excited about it because one of the things is you know, I can be out at a restaurant and have my cell phone. I can do either how much business we did yesterday, I can do how much business we did today, the last 7 days, or the last 30 days. And it gives me information as to the gross payments. It gives me if there were any refunds and how they were done, whether they were done manual. It tells me what the net money is before gratuities, and it tells me what it is with the gratuities. It gives me a breakdown, American Express, MasterCard, Visa. And then I can get reports as to back to the waiters, you know, what they brought in individually, what their tip amounts were. I can go into the names of the people that dined here. It's a whole new world. I mean, it's really very exciting, and I'm looking forward. I think this is the future. Right now, having this touch screen and being able to do the kinds of things we're able to do has just been terrific. You can check in with me, or anyone else out there wants to check in with me. I'm happy to give them my side of the story and tell them just how good the Clover's been for me.
Angelo Vivolo, owner, Restaurant Vivolo, 74th Street and Lexington Avenue in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, New York City. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you, Josh. Thank you.